Alrighty, welcome back. Basically, we're at it again. What's going on today is I have a rack for Jolene's car. It's from an '08 to 203. No, what year is it from?
98.
From a 98 to an '03. It was donated by Steve from our British Car Club. Thank you very much, Steve. We appreciate it. But what's going on is the spline that comes out of the rack. This is the rack that I made fit the chassis. And the reason being is this is the rack that we had. This is the rack that we were given. And I made it work. I've got all the brackets welded on the chassis for it, so it works in there. We've got it all mounted. Everything works that way. But what's going on is the spline on this thing's a 54, I think we've counted, and we've had no luck getting a splined universal joint with a double D shaft. And when I say a double D shaft, this is what I mean by a double D shaft. It's this kind of shaft here. It's got two flat sides and a 3/4, or it's got a half a round on it that fit in like that. So that fits in there. Then you have I guess a pin. It pins it there. Basically, that's what goes on. Then we have the double D shaft. This is what we're going to run for a shaft on Jolene's car, double D shaft. I've got two pieces in there. They come in 3-foot lengths, I think. But I need a universal joint. And it runs through the chassis. If you've never seen it before, on Jolene's chassis, the universal joint runs through. This is where it goes. So it's quite an obstacle. What I've got going on here. It's quite an obstacle. I'll put it into this way so I can get in a little bit further. So that runs through the motor mount onto the steering rack. That's what's going on. That's the motor mount. That's what the motor mount bolts to, and that's what I had to do to get that to work. I got the rack all down in here where it mounts, but I have not got the universal joint to make it work. Yes, the Jaguar has that it come off. Obviously has the universal joint that it works to, but we do not have the universal joint that goes to the 3/4 or the double D shaft like we have, and I found this in there from a bill that we probably didn't use. We ordered it wrong, obviously. But it's double D to a double D. And when we try to do a little information on this thing, it says to use a double D shaft on this to a double D. So what I'm guessing is that they have modified the spline to fit the double D. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to modify that spline to fit this double D. And I'm going to do it before your very eyes. Let's take a look in there. Take a look at that. We put the dash in. We're going to make it. We made an order to get the steering column. We're going to buy a steering column drop. We want to drop it down 2 inches, but we got it set in there. It's looking mighty fine. Me and Jolene did that yesterday. We had to make an order to get some stuff. I don't want to gum that up too much. I want to get a nice drop thing for that. I did it drop, maybe. I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's an I did it or a Speedway, one or the other. And we had to make an order for this. We still need a Heim joint for the rear end suspension. We need a few things. We need a few things, few small things actually, and we've acquired them. Something like that. We generally buy because we're not junking a whole bunch of cars that have them on them or have them on there. Now that I get thinking, we do have a bunch of Jaguar. Anyways, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. They're out in the snow. That's why I'm not going there. We have a bunch of Jaguar steering outside. I thought we did. But anyways, that's where it is. It's outside. It's in the snow. We cannot still get outside. There's so much snow here and ice here that it's quite something else. But I can't wait for the day that we can open the back door and use our hoist, get our car outside, just get fresh air, clean the shop out. You know, if we try to clean the shop out, we got to throw it out the front door. But anyways, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this shaft into a double D shaft to fit this universal joint, and then we have a lock pin there to lock it on so it does not come off. Basically, what I'm going to do first is I'll just set this down for a second, I guess. I'll set it on the ground, and I don't want to really set it on the car, but I will. What I need is, I'm going to get a pattern of this bad boy. I'm going to get a pattern of this, and I'm just going to take it on a piece of board, and I'm going to get a pattern. I'm going to press it on there. Just press it on hard. There's a pattern of my double D. I know everybody's thinking there's something different when you say double D, but that's what it is. Double D. Just going to try to look in the light here a little bit and see if I can get a little bit. The reason I want the pattern, because once I have the pattern, and I try to make that shaft this shape, I can slide it down over and see if I'm getting close or not. That's what I'm thinking. You know what they say, if you don't think, you sink. From what I understand. We're a little big on one side there. And we looked. See, it's hard for me to tell, you know, when I put that universal joint down there, what I got, how much I got to take off it, how much I got to shave off it, what I'm doing. Once I tape this on the side or put this on top of it, then I can see basically what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a grinder and I'm going to flatten this side off. There's a pin right there. I'm going to flatten this side off. I'll flatten one side off, then I'll line it up with this little pattern here, and I'll show where I got to line this side off, and we'll go with that. Because I think once I flatten one side off and flatten the other side off, I get it flat enough that the universal joint will fit on, but I don't think that we have enough the other way. But we might have, I'm not sure yet, but that's basically what I'm doing. I'm going to get a grinder. I'm going to use a zip cut on that. It seems like I don't know what to say. It's a job that has to be done, and I'm just doing it on this. Well, we're doing it because it has to be done, and as I'm doing it, I guess I'm showing you that you're allowed to do it to your ride. Basically, if you've never seen it be done, I've never done it actually. To be honest with you, I've never had to do it. I've always had the right spline or the right double D shaft, or generally tried to have. But on this application, we could not find a 54 spline with a double D shaft. It said to go to the double D to a double D, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to just take and cut some grease off around that. We have a package that come from Jeff Webster. We're going to open it up right after we do a little bit of work. I feel like we only open gifts here after we do a little bit of work. We don't open them up before we work. That way there we feel like we deserve it. I don't know, deserve it or not. Just going to cut away this way a little bit. We looked this rack and pinion up. We looked it up to see what it actually is in the year and that sort of stuff, because it has a number on it. And to replace this, it's a $1,000 bill. And I'm not sure if that's Canadian or was it British?
I think American.
It was American, $1,000 bill. Yo! That seems to be a lot of money. And also, there seemed to be a plastic. We're going to have to clean this sucker all up, make sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to have to get the air going if I do any welding to do any shaping on this, basically. But Jolene's car needs a rack to steer. This is the rack that we made fit because we got it for that much. And as we go and look and see what it's worth quite a bit to buy. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to knock that down on one edge. I got that little pattern right there. I'm going to knock it down on one edge. I see I got a pin right here on the side of it. I'm not going to knock it down on the pin side. I'm going to knock it down on another side. I'm just going to knock a flat spot in it. Look at this bad boy. Need your glasses for this one, that's for sure. Take it down a little bit more. This might be a quick one. This might take a little while. I'm not sure. I'm liking the flapper wheel for this, or not the flapper wheel, but the grinder that I'm using with it's cutting it nice, giving me a nice flat cut. I'm going to cut it I got it angled off here a little bit, I can see, and I want to flatten it out a little bit. I'm acting like the machinist with a zip cut. I'm going to go to the other side. Basically what I don't want to do is I don't want to take it down too far. That's basically what I don't want to do. Just trying to see if I got it. Alrighty. I'm just going to go on the direct opposite side and see if I can get the same mount taken off. I guess that's the most important thing. I want this to stay up for me. Just gotta get it. Maybe I should set it on the floor like I always do. Nope. Where I want it shaved down, so I'm going to go from there. Just looking at it, I've got the angle going a little bit off. And the reason I say it's a little bit off because it needs to come. I need to turn the angle's going this way. I need to turn it down this way a little bit. Now it's worth a try. It doesn't look bad for the shaft going in that way. Just knock a little bit more off each side. Just gonna knock a little bit more off. Seems like it might be a fairly easy. It might be a fairly easy go. I'm not sure yet, but it does look. Don't want to go too far, too fast. So you can buy these shafts in all different. One way you can't buy it is the 54 spline, because we haven't yet been able to. Now, still a little bit, just a little bit. Just want to make sure that we're going right. I'm just trying to make it as flat as possible. If I got a bunch of different angles going on, that's not what I want. I've got one angle going on there, and you can tell because it's flat. If there's more than one angle, you'll see it. Looking down this way just to see if it's angled off right. This one here can come down a little bit more. You can see how this is angled a little bit closer on this side than that side. Basically what I'm looking at. I'm going to knock this side off a little bit. See if I can't make it work. Put this in my pocket so I stop running. Oh, the dog bell went off. Gotta go see who it is, or see what's going on. It's just a truck dropping off a package. Fina's letting me know. That's what dogs are good for. Fina does her job. This here, you can see how it's nice and flat there. I'll just come here for a sec. You can see how it's nice and flat there, how we got it nice and flat. You can see that little tiny angle right there. That's how you know when you get it angled off. Don't want that, you know. Not really. I mean, it's not going to hurt it any because we got nice flat up in there. But basically, I'm just trying to get that nice and flat. So that'll go on there. We're very close, so I'm going to take a little bit off this side and then a little bit off the other side. Nice and flat it is. Close. Just looking at it, just to make sure. Trying to make sure. Oh, Fina, come on. I gotta just let her know that it's okay. It's okay. Fina! Fina! How you doing? Watch your step, it's icy. You're gonna deliver that bad boy, are you? You're gonna deliver that bad boy no matter what. Right on. Fina, come on. We know he's walking up. Thank you. Go that now, would you? Jim Patterson? Yeah. Do I know him?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're expecting
Yeah.
it for him.
Okay, we're expecting it for him. Jim Patterson's got a package delivered here. Right on, man.
I think it's from Belgium.
Well done, MBW. Well done.
Just need your name, man.
Just need my name, Chad Hiltz.
Perfect. Awesome.
See you later, man. Have a good one. Come on in, Fina. Fina, come on. Come on. Come on, Fina. Good job. Come on. Good job. Jim Patterson. All the way from where?
I think Belgium.
Is that right?
Yeah. They've been emailing me about it.
Cool. That's awesome. Thank you. Whoever it is sent it. We don't know who sent it yet. Somebody from Belgium.
I could be wrong, but...
What's that?
I could be wrong, but it's...
No, you're never wrong. We're getting close on this. We're getting very close. So I'm just going to go very slow because I want it to fit the best as possible. And you can see, well, yeah. Okay, just go as slow as possible. We'll get that on there. Just a little bit on each side. It's almost ready to rock and roll. And try it. Just wondering if I should pound that on. Because it's right there. Just kind of wondering. Just a little bit. Taking a look at it. I'm just going to flop it over and do the other side. Haha, beautiful. Just like that. What I'm thinking is we're going to drill that. We've got a little bit of sloppiness. We've got a little bit of, the flat part is good. That's good. That's nice and tight that way. We've got sloppiness on the round part. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to drill that and put a bolt right through it, and that way there it cannot come off without ever doing the set screw like that. We'll drill a hole through that, and that's what we're going to do this present set we're going to do right now. We're going to get a drill, and that way there's no issue of that coming off, you know, and it'll stop the play. Obviously we got a little bit of play there. What I could do is weld a little bit on this and then grind that off. Don't feel like it's necessary. Don't feel like it's necessary. If you know what I'm trying to say, I don't feel it's necessary. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the hole. Yes, that feels good. Take that out of it. We put a hole. We could set screw it. There's a set screw right there. I don't think I want to set screw it. I think I want to do more than that. I think I want to drill it and put a bolt through it, and then it can't come off. And the play's gone as soon as that set screw goes in there. That does smarten it up quite a bit. You know, there's no play in that whatsoever now, with a set screw in it. I could set screw it both from both sides. Don't think I want to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in that, and I might even tap it to that so it has to screw in. Not sure. But we'll drill a hole through it. You want to see me? The spring's not close enough. Damn it. Can't compress the spring far enough on that. I'm going to take my marker. Looks to be the center. Looks good. What I can do also, this is probably what I'll do, instead of drilling a bolt through it or something, having something like that. I'm not sure how much room I have going through the exhaust, yes, I have enough room for that. Going through the motor mount, if I get a bolt sticking out there, but this is going to be wider than that, so we should be fine. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably drill a little ways in there. When I set the set screw in, the set screw is going to go inside of that a ways, and then it can't come off. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put this aside, put this back. We should almost go and see Jim today. No, it's not a bad day out. I got a drill right here. Probably should get a smaller one to start with. Get a nice little set right here. We'll start with this bad boy, I guess. No sense just throwing that on the ground, is there? I might as well. That didn't go bad. We'll get a set screw put in that. Get a little hole there. There's a spot on this side here is where the 2 lines go in. There's a spot on this side that had something that went there, and we didn't have it. And I kept looking at the rack and thinking, I don't know what goes there. I have no idea. Like usually the rack just have 2 lines and that's it. But what I'm thinking, where the year of the rack is that year, I'm thinking there's a sensor that went in there, and we're just going to delete that area. Like we don't got no sensors in this car. The only sensor we got is if it's working good or if it's not. That's the sensor we have. So basically that's what we're going to do. So now that, let's get this drilled and see what goes on. I'd like to, probably should have that set thing here. I'm gonna go get it. Now it'll compress the spring. I got that off. This thing is just got a little spring in it. It compresses it, and then it punches a spot for you. Oh, it's going to punch a spot. See that little spot that presses? So now hoping my drill bit will stay in the spot that I want it to. And it will. No, it started too quick. All right, I'm going to start with that like that. I don't think I need to go much deeper than that. Well, maybe I'll go a little deeper. Just change my mind just a little bit, just a little bit. Now I've got that in there like that. We're going to step it in with a little bigger drill bit. I think that's the worst thing about drill bits is for me, is have to put them back. I'm going to take the set screw out of this bad boy. Saying to Jolene this morning, boys, I get mighty deep in these projects. And I guess the reason being is I'm going to go with that. It's not too big. Once I bevel it down, it should be fine. What I'm just checking to see the size of the set screw itself. You can see it's got little tabs on it where it would bite in. You know, little tab there where it would bite in. And then it has a lock nut on top of it. So I'm basically thinking if I drill that hole there, that'll lock in there nice. That's what I'm going to do. Old Butterfingers Hiltz. But yeah, I get kind of deep in these projects because, and the reason being is I got it for nothing. Why would I not try to make it work? And then try to go spend $1,000 and get a brand new one and have to do the exact same thing, you know? Basically. So if I can make this work, which I think we're doing good. On the part where the hole, I'll show you the hole. I'll pull that off here in a minute. Show you there's where the sensor went. I'm pretty sure it's a sensor. So Jolene's car is going to have power steering. We have a power steering pump on the engine, and the reason we're going with power steering because it keeps the belts tight on the engine. That's where the belt tensioner is on the Jaguar, is the power steering. see the divot I'm putting in there? It's going good. I think we'll go a little deeper. Just a little deeper. Don't want to drill down through my hand there. As you can see, it was in the way. All right, let's check and see this. That fits in there nice. I think it does. Little end there that got the teeth on it. You can see the teeth on it where it's supposed to grab. Fits in there nice. And with that tightened up, you'd never pull that back off. You'd never get that off. And we're lined up nice. Come take a look. Lined up beautiful. Come on this side, sweetheart. Maybe you'll see better. We're lined up nicely where the hole is. What? You happy with that? You're caught. She's caught, boys. There we go. Got it? Good. Lined up good. So we'll be able to screw that in there. Screw that in there tight. Here we go. I can loosen that off and tighten that up a bit more. This also, I can't pull that off now. Can't come off. This is what I might do though. Can't get that off. It's good. I've got a little bit of movement this way and this way on that. Now that it's probably could. I got that in there so tight I can't get it off. Here we go. There we go. I got them teeth on there, see? Now. What I'm thinking is, this is what I might do, just to give that the tightest fit possible. Doopy. That fits in there good. It's not going anywheres. I just don't like the sloppiness of this. When I put that in, I just don't like this when I put it on there. Anything in the steering you'd want tight as possible. You don't want no sloppiness in it. Everything fitting tight and right. I get a little bit of sloppiness like this. See that? Don't like that. It's not going to come off. No, it's not. And once you have pressure on it, it's not going to do anything. But I can take that and tighten it down in there tighter. Yes, I can. Just wondering that would... This is what I might do. Instead of thinking about it, I might just do it. I might clean the threads out. I might put a little bit of JB weld on this. I can weld that and then grind. I don't think it's worth it. But what I think I might do is put a little bit of JB weld, clean them threads up, put a little bit of JB weld there, a little bit of JB weld there. Slide this on really quick with the JB weld on there. Pull it off. I'm not sure if the JB weld would stay in place, and then wash this all out, clean it all out, take some thinner and clean this out, make sure it's got no JB weld on it. After I pull it off, let the JB weld sit there, and then it would harden in place, and then it would take up the space of what's going on. Instead of me using the welder on the threads and then trying to grind it off, or I could just put the JB weld on the threads and then grind it off and make it tighter itself instead of welding it. That's what I'm going to do. Just for, why not? Just to make it a little bit tighter. It's good. It's not coming off. No, it's not. But I'm just cleaning out all the threads. Are there all the splines here? And get a drill. Just thinking about it, that's all. We got time for that, sweetheart?
Yep.
Okay. Just want to know if we got time. I got a little drill here. I'll put this on, clean that off. And it's like I said, it's fine. It'll work great probably if I jammed it in there, but I do not want any sloppiness on that if I can possibly have no sloppiness at all. Can't forget not to open the package. Jim got a package today. We got a package today. We're so fortunate. Yes, we are. Just trying to give it that perfect fit, if I can. If I can. And if I can't, well, no, I can. That's how I deal with things. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I bought some new stuff here, I thought. I got some there, but it looks like she should. Haha. Haha. We'll cut it open. Scissors over there now, I know I do. So I cut that. We'll put this back for the hay of it. Able to mix this on. So this stuff is 50-50, obviously. The reason I say it's 50-50 because the tube is the exact same size as the other tube. That's why I'm saying it's 50-50. Hardener and the steel. There you go. 50-50. I'm going to bring over a little tiny table. I'm not going to use that table. We got the window stuff on it. I'm going to bring this little table over. I'm going to take and move this stuff. Right there. That's how it gets done, boys. Just move it right from one place to another. Keep that. Mix. I'm going to. These things have a little top on there. You put it on the top, and then it knocks it open for you. Get a little top on there, knocks it open. Actually, we'll put some on. We don't need a whole bunch. That's probably a whole bunch. That's what that is. That's a whole bunch. We don't need all that, but we put it on there. We do not need all that, that's for sure, because they're going to have this much on this side. $50-50. I'm going to grab a little squeegee here. And what I mean by squeegee is something to put body fill on with. If I have a little one here somewhere. Do that and mix it together. I guess we would know we have it mixed when it's gray. All right. I'm just getting fussy with it, I guess. Just putting it on the threads. I could almost put it on there and leave it there. What would it hurt? What would it hurt? In case I ever want to get the universal joint off, or take the drying rack, I might even just leave it on there. What I don't like is a piece of plastic there that probably shouldn't even done that. But I got a piece of plastic there around the edge of it. I don't want to get it on that. Q-tip. Clean this out. I might just leave it right on there. It's not going to hurt anything. If I want to take the steering off, I just take it off this one. What's the difference? You can get these welded on. I just don't want no sloppiness in what's going on. You know what I'm trying to tell you? You know, like there's a little bit of sloppiness there, and I don't want it. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take and put this on. I'm going to leave it on. Nope. Put it on this way. I'm going to pull it off for a second. See, that's what I was thinking about doing, pulling it off, pulling it on, then I'd have what it's supposed to be. But where I have this, why would I not leave it on? I'm thinking leave it on. Not going to hurt anything. If I leave it on. That's just going to fill up the vacant. You can see how it's shaped there. See how it's shaped there nice compared to what it was before, how it had the threads, how it's shaped. Basically, I want to get enough on that it shapes the whole shape of the double D shaft, and then it hardens and there's no movement. Basically. No welding involved. And it fits because I have the pin to make it fit. This pin there, it can't come off, so we're basically double reinsuring ourselves. Put the pin in, and I'm saying that we're going to be good. What am I going to do here? It's going to take a minute for that to dry. It takes quite a while for that to dry. I think I'd like to get this nut off a little bit, and then I can tighten this up and apply it so it's right. What I'm saying is I want to have the set screw in tight as possible. There we go. So I'll take the nut off, or pull it back off the set screw. So all I'm doing is taking the nut off the set screw, pulling it back some. So I can get the set screw all the way down in that hole and make sure it's in there. So that universal joint will be on there. We won't be taking it off, and there's no need to take it off. I'm hoping it doesn't interfere, that we can't get it off and on. You know what I'm trying to tell you there? I'm going to set this in the best we can. I'm saying that's set pretty good. Now we're going to tighten this up so it cannot come off. There. Now we're set in place. I've also JB welded it for reinsurance. The reason I done that is because I just wanted to take up any leftover space that was in our steering. Sure, no JB weld is on anything we don't want it to be. So basically all the JB weld doing is taking up the space between the threads and the double D shaft on the inside of the universal joint. That's all it's doing. And it'll probably make it stick in place. The set screw is not going to allow it to come off because we already tried that. It's not coming off. So basically, I'm saying that we're good. Bum, 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 bum. Fantastic. Jolene looks amazing today. She always looks amazing. And I am the eyes of the beholder. That's how it goes, isn't it? Trying to clear it out there. I just don't want anything sticking where it shouldn't be. Basically what I'm trying to say. Just going to put that down for a second. Now, I'm just going to peel this tape off. Just because. You're good. Fantastic. Get a rag, clean it off a little bit better. Beautiful. Nothing stuck, nothing, everything looks good. Beautiful. You are, Jolene. Beautiful. Now, awesome. We have a universal joint on our rack. So what's going on is that JB weld's going to make that stick there. Yes, it is. The JB weld's sitting in, it's not on the flat parts, obviously, because it fit, because we pulled it off. It didn't have any on the flat parts. It's not on the flat part. It's on the part of the thread, so it's taking up that space. So we're really not using it, using the JB weld other than is to take up space. That's all we're using it for. The set pin is setting it there so it can't come off. I've already tried that. We got that in there. It can't pull it off. You'd have, well, we're drilled into that, so you can't pull that off. Now where the JB weld's in there, it's going to take up that space where it had that little bit of wobble. It can't go anywheres, and it's also going to make it help stay in place with the set screw. So I think that we've double jeopardy that thing to make it work, and I'm very happy with it. So it's in there nice. It fits good. The JB weld is taking up the area. It's going to help stick, help hold with the set pin. So now we will have no play in the steering. We'll let that dry. And there'll be no play in that steering now when it comes time. So there we go. There's another hurdle that we've had to jump. There's just one after another. So when we put the rack on, then we'll have to jump another hurdle and find out the lines for the power steering. We'll have to hook them up to the old style. That's what we'll have to do. Let's open the package from Jeff. And I want to make, I want to do the best job I can on Jolene's car, with what we have. And I'm thinking instead of me setting that on there with that set screw and having a little bit of play, I don't want that play. I don't want it. I want to take it out of there. So that's what I come up with. Throw a little JB weld in there. We'll let it set, and it should be good. They didn't want us to get into this, but that's a good thing. This is from Jeff Webster. He's the man that done the wood. We did a bunch of videos on that. If you ever want to see it, you're more welcome to go back to it. We had to order another door handle for the other side, so that's what Jolene did. She made an order this morning for a door handle. We have to order some motor mounts for the engine. The motor mounts that we got were they're cracked. They're not that great. This now, would you? More wood. Cool. Is this a shifter?
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You got it? Mm-hmm. There's another thing here, too. If you can't tell, Jeff's a fine-tuned craftsman. He's fine-tuned. There's the old shifter knob off it. Haha, cool. So he made these wooden pieces to put on your chrome shifter.
Oh, wow.
And he just went a little above and beyond and made it on the wood. Cool.
That's awesome.
So these come over here, we'll take a look. Cool, very cool. So this is the shifter that we have. It's chrome. Sorry to bother you, Fina. It's a chrome shifter. It's pretty basically, I think it's the Jaguar shifter mechanism itself. These are the two pieces that screw onto the shifter, which we liked. Yeah, we do. Now we have some wooden shifter pieces that's going to go on that will match the dash and the wood. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Woohoo! Thanks, Jeff. Awesome. Make me smile. Look, got some earrings in here for me. It's nice, beautiful. And we have a little piece of, jeez. Stand it in. Look at that now, would you? Oh, wow. So what happens is he made that's too funny. Made me laugh. Not make me laugh, it's quite something else actually. That's how fine-tuned Jeff is. When he made the window pieces, he made this piece here to hold the window frame so we could set it in the house. And I said, wow, it's kind of a piece of furniture that I would put in my house and leave there to look at. And we'll say, has anybody ever asked you what that is? Oh, that's Bugatti wood trim out of a Bugatti. Well, we all know what a Bugatti's worth. And to have the trim in that situation there, you would think, wow, probably quite valuable. You know what I mean? It could be sitting in a house. Now we have the shifter itself sitting on a stand. Well, what's a shifter for? Oh, it's for a Bugatti. These are the knobs for it. Oh, wow, that's quite something. So we got the wood for the dash. We've got the ostrich skin, and we got the shifter knobs, or the shifter for the shifter, and now we have the wood pieces for the windows. So I'm thinking that Jeff's thinking, get to work. Basically, it's been a year. He made a post. It's been a year, but yeah, we're getting back to work on it. The problem with I keep explaining it. The problem with it is that we cannot get outdoors. My hoist is outdoors, and I do have a plan for this summer. I want to be able to have a hoist inside, so I can do work and not slow up any. Like, I'm still working, yes I am, but it really is taking a toll not being able to get out the door and get something on the hoist. I really need the car up on the hoist to get it, make a table for it so I can get down through the middle of it. I cannot get on that table and start shaking that thing and start playing with it and start doing all that. The basics of me putting it on that table is to get the chassis done. Well, looks like it did pretty good on the chassis. The chassis, you know, is rocking and rolling. It's doing very well. The basic part about that is to get this stuff accomplished, and I do it pieces at a time. But this stuff, it takes time. It slows you down. I'm more of a creator. As you see the 40 there, taking a 42 door and turn it into something that's more my taste, my flavor. This stuff where I have to slow down and use my brain and try to make things work. You can only do it so fast. I can't cut that apart. You know, I can only do it so fast. So basically this stuff here I kind of leave until the end, until I have to do it, because that's not the stuff that I enjoy a whole bunch. I really don't enjoy picking up the rack and trying to figure out how I'm going to put that on there. It went okay, yes it did. It just, you know, just to do it. But my forte is cutting things apart and making things. Doing Elvis and putting the engine in it. Yes, I have to do it because I'm the one that wants the car and I'm the one that wants it. And Jolene, I told Jolene I'd build a car. Yes, I have to do it. But basically I need a little bit of, I need some outside space to get the cars in the air and get that thing on a stand that I can work on the underneath of it. And then I can get things going, rocking and rolling. But on hindsight, it's helping me make me do this stuff. So basically, we still have winter here. We are not going anywhere for another month. We are not going out anywhere near the back of the garage in another month because of the snow and the ice that we have. So I should basically stick to this stuff, just stick to it, and get this little stuff done, get it tidied up, because there's going to be a day when we're going to want to put it all together. And if I haven't got this stuff done, you don't put it together. So that's where I'm at. So I'm happy with what's going on there. Happy what's going on there. We got that on there. We didn't know what we were going to do, but you've seen what we did. We flattened both sides off. We put a set pin in it, which you can't get it off. And then we took the JB weld and filled up on the threads where it was not round enough to be a double D shaft. So what's going to happen is this is going to go into the motor mount. This piece here is going to go into the motor mount, and then this double D shaft is going to run through the motor mount up to the firewall, which we haven't even got a hole poked through yet for, but we still got to do that. And that's going to go up to the firewall and do the steering. So in all actual fact, the steering alone, just getting the motor mount made to run to the car, to get the steering to work with that engine in it, was a big feat. And I'm happy with that. This here one will not be seen. Well, it'll be seen a little bit with the rack because it's way down in front. You would never really get to see it. When you take the hood off, we've got another one here. You can get all kinds of different kinds of universal joints, and this is a shiny one. So when this goes through that motor mount that I showed you down there, when we run our double D shaft through there, we're going to have to run a couple double D shafts because we got the length of the engine, then we got way up inside the car. It's quite a distance actually. So when we get going here, then we have another one that we're going to put on this part, and then we can see this one when we open the hood. We'll see the nice shiny one running up to the car. So you have stainless steel running through. This will be in the motor mount right here. You'll see stainless steel, and then stainless steel going up to the finish up to the firewall, which we have to make a piece and do some do a firewall for that. It's not machined. It's not machined where you bring down and do circles in it. It's got a different look to it, and I do not know. I haven't got there yet, but we need to make a firewall for that car, and I need to make some valve pan covers for Jolene's car. It's kind of a slow process, but I have to make valve pan covers for her car that have that marking in them, and I don't really know how to make that marking yet, but I'll figure it out. It'll take a little bit of investigation, but it'll be this rod, this universal joint up to the car wherever it goes, and then we have a I did it steering column, a cheap stainless steel steering column. I say cheap, it's not cheap, it's practical. It's brand new, it's shiny, and it'll run up through Jolene's car. It pulls off. It's got a pin in it. You can pull the steering wheel off like a race car, and it's going to look fabulous. So now we're going to let this dry. The JB weld we're going to let that set and dry. We'll clean this all off. We'll have to paint it to make it look new, and now we can apply it to the car. Basically, that had to be done before I could put it on the frame. That's what had to be done. And I have to have this done, or I want this done before I put the engine in, because if I put the engine in, then I have to jack the chassis all up, put jack stands underneath of it, and have the chance of scratching everything to put the rack on. So everything's going to have to go in order. Basically, you have to do it all in order, and or I want to do it in order so it all works. So we'll clean all the rubbers up, clean them up so nice and clean, get some tie rod ends. There's where it's going to cost some money. Going to have to buy tie rod ends for it, that's where it costs money. Where we got the rack given to us, there's $1,000 we saved, and where I made that to work, there's more money saved. Alrighty, and all this stuff that we had, some of the stuff is from the builds that we had before. We just don't throw nothing away because you never know when you're going to use it, basically. All right, let's go give away a hat or shirt. Thanks, Jeff, for that stuff. Wicked, wicked, absolutely wicked. That was wicked. That was a nice gift. Made me smile. Made Jolene smile. So we got wood for the shifter, and it looks absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And he made a stand for it. We might do. Awesome. Surround yourself in good people. You know that? Surround yourself in good people. If someone's taking you down, or someone doesn't do you right, or you don't feel that you're not being happy around somebody, just move along and make yourself happy. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and basically talking about how to be happy. And the way to be happy is to do what you want to do. And you can listen to people, yes you can, but basically you have to do what you want to do. If you want to do something on your project and you have somebody talking you out of it, that's okay if they want to try to talk you out of it, but you must understand what's going to make you happy is doing what you want to do. So you really have to, you can accept their thoughts and their opinions. It's easy. You can do that. Yes, you can. But in the end, make sure you do what you want to do. Don't stop because someone has talked you out of something that you want to do. You will not know happiness until you do what you want to do. That's the end of it. That's how you become happy. 571, thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you taking the time to write in the comments. I hope everybody, boss, owner, manager, I think he just won, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Well, he can get a hat or a shirt to match if he likes. It's like my face and my ass. It's a match. It's not that they look alike. It's that they both belong to me. Right? Say a big hello to all the guys like Jim, Doug, and others that I may have forgotten. They are all a good part of your show, too. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And you've won a hat or a shirt to go with your hat or shirt that you've won before if you get a hold of Jolene. And remember, you can take someone's opinion. Yes, you can. But make sure you do what you want to do. That's the only way to know how to be happy, to do what you want to do. That's the only way. Have a good one, everybody. You watch me every day do what I want to do. And that's how I'm happy. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.